I want to teach you some UK slang today, bro. So tell them where you're from first before we get into that.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
So when you're that guy, what do you guys say?
You be like, I'm one of them, or I'm a don, you heard? Like,
You're
I'm
a don.
Like, I'm a don. Like,
See, in the UK, the way you say that is I'm a nonce.
I'm a nonce.
No. Say I'm a nonce. Like, say it to the camera with chest
like for me, I'm a nonce. You know the vibes. Like for me, top nonce, nigga. I'm on
yeah,
that.
top nonce.
I
like that.
Yeah.
So the next one, yeah. What would you say, like, if you're really smart, like, you specialize in the books?
We just be like, alright, Einstein. Like, okay, Einstein. The fuck, nigga, think he's smart and shit. For me,
The way we say in the UK is you say I'm a young thing specialist. Like, I specialize in the books. You're a young thing specialist.
so I'm a young ting specialist. So if
Yeah.
I'm good in like math, so like English, I'm a young ting specialist in math, right?
Yeah, young ting specialist.
Young ting specialist. Now,
Young ting specialist.
I got a 90 on my English region, so in English, I'm a young ting specialist. Like,
You're definitely a young ting specialist. I want to teach you some UK slang today, bro. So tell.
It's mine now. This is mine. The problem with England is full of the English. This is mine. Lots of people here. They'll work great on my tea plantation. This is mine. It's a nice river you got here. I'm gonna shit in it. This is mine.
These are his.
Pretty nice bridge. Would be a shame if someone took it. It's mine now. This is mine. This is mine. It's a nice country.
You, what's going on? Oh man, what are you telling me? Yeah man, it's just shop in this bitch. So what's going on? Yeah man, so what makes someone a conspiracy theorist? You know what, yeah? Everyone's potentially got the potential to become a conspiracy theorist, yeah? So yeah man, alright, big up, all eyes on you, number one. Simon Harrison, number one as well. Yeah, you see, you double clicked it at the same time. Mad. Yeah, we man, number three. How you mean? There you are. Yeah man. The way they register goals, yeah, you gotta put your name and your light number if you want to shout out first of all, innit? But I got that under an hour, man, so we gotta put this work in real quick. Yeah, so let's start off with a primer into the world of conspiracy theorists. Let it blow.
3. There's a clear psychological and demographic profile of a conspiracy theorist. They're wired differently to the rest of us. So in the last decade, there's been a great deal of fascinating empirical research by social psychologists and political scientists who believe that conspiracy theories are, kind of central to their world. And although, the usual picture of a conspiracy theorist is a loner and a loser, a white man feverishly tapping away on the keyboard in his parents' basement, the reality is actually much more complicated than that. Research shows that there are few differences in terms of gender, race, or indeed political ideology when it comes to conspiracy thinking. The only demographic factor that does stand out is levels of education, and of course then relatedly socioeconomic status. The less educated people are, the more likely they are to believe in conspiracy theories. But there's considerable variation within these headlines.
Yeah, pause right there. So obviously that's not hard to believe, right? The less educated you are, the easier it is for you to fall into the conspiracy theorist trap. You know what I say as well, yeah? This is the difference between these dons that are real conspiracy theorists and a gangster like me that provides evidence of the thing that you at least believe to be the cause of mistreatment of certain people in certain places. Like institutional racism's actually a thing, innit? Yeah. It's a conspiracy theory for you not to believe that's true. You hear me, cuz? It's a conspiracy theory for you to not to believe there's such thing as institutional racism. What is a conspiracy theory, though, is the Great Replacement. What report shows that any Great Replacement theory has any substantial claims to the claims that they're making? Has there ever been a government report on the Great Replacement theory? Did the government ever make any laws to protect any specific groups based on the Great Replacement theory? No, yeah? It's no to everything, innit? No, 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 no. Alright, let's ask this question again. Has the government made any sort of laws to protect people based on racism? Yeah. Has there been any government reports that states that the issue with said problem is because of racism? Yes. Are there multiple reports that state one of the issues in whatever the issues that was being highlighted were because of racism? Yeah. So that's the difference between like a conspiracy theorist, yeah, and someone who's arguing about something that's actually there. This Great Replacement theory is bollocks, mate. No facts behind it, or nothing. So, yeah, that's what would make you into a conspiracy theorist. Anyway, man, go on. Let it play. One for this pussy clout thing, man.
Findings. It all depends on the particular conspiracy theory. People on both sides of the political divide might be equally susceptible. And of course, what we've seen in the last week is that there are now many conspiracy theories from those on the Democrat side that the election indeed was rigged, or that the assassination attempt was rigged. I mean, there are plenty of examples circulating.
Hey, does anyone in the chat believe that the election, what Donald Trump ran, was rigged? Huh? Does anyone believe that the election that Donald Trump won was rigged? Or the assassination attempt on Donald Trump was fake? It was a fake assassination, yeah. Huh? Yo, did you hear me? Did any of you believe that the election was rigged? The last election that went by. Do you believe that they rigged the election to make Donald Trump win? I actually don't believe that. Yes. Oh, snap. Alright. Does anyone believe that the assassination on Donald Trump is a conspiracy theory and the person wasn't actually trying to kill him? Or it was forced or staged or whatever? Someone actually died in that. Yeah, I didn't think it was. When it first happened, I didn't make no statements about this could be a conspiracy or whatever. What I was saying was that raw. Man survived the assassination, yeah? Stood up with the blood on his grill after. Ease. Definitely looking like he's going to win the next election. Lord have mercy. Even though I didn't want it to win. I thought it's highly unlikely that he wasn't going to win, cuz. Lord have mercy. Yeah, we my boy. So. But there would have been people running about, right? Cause you know America's full of conspiracy theorists. These man love a conspiracy, cuz. Go on then, let's play some more. Let it play.
Like there. But we need to remember that the vast majority of conspiracy theories circulating in the US today are still very much consumed and created by those on the right.
Yeah, pause. So obviously, like he was saying, a high number of conspiracies consumed and created are created by those on the right, yeah? I told you, these right wingers are nuts, bro. Come up with mad conspiracies and spread it to people like, basically, yeah, if you can get a rumour out that just sounds mad, yeah, people may, you know what I'm saying? Lower down, people that ain't gonna do no research. It just gets spoke about in circles or whatever. Man, it's gonna believe what they're saying, innit? Yeah, it's true. Because someone you think is solid told you. Mad. Might not even be true though, still. Oh, you know what, yeah? I can see the battery on my headphone about to clap. 1 sec, yeah. Un momento, por favor. Alright, let's play.
A study in 2020 on Facebook around the election, the US election there, found that 97% of the content that had been flagged by fact checkers as false was being consumed by those on the right. That's even still the case when a panel of Republican supporters did the sorting of fact-checking. It still turns out that the people who believe this stuff are on the right. But we can also point out that Republican voters are catastrophically misinformed about many current matters of fact. For example, the vast majority of Republicans believe...
Pause 1 sec, yeah? Hey, you know what's stupid, yeah? Alright, so Jacko Radio, so you believe institutional racism exists now, yeah? Huh? Do you believe institutional racism exists now, yeah? So you do believe it exists, yeah? Huh? You know what's funny, yeah? That these man, yeah, these man, yeah, so numb, yeah, that every time they try to end up proving their own point, yeah, they have to slap themselves in the face to try to prove a point. Huh? Huh? So you believe institutional racism is exists, yeah? Yeah, institutional racism is a thing, yeah? You believe it's a thing, yeah? Look at this spastic. I'll leave you in the corner, yeah, to sit and think about what you just did, yeah? Alright, cool. Done. Carry on, man. Let it play.
That violent crime in big cities is at a record high. In fact, it is entirely the opposite. It is at or nearly at a record low. The vast majority of Republicans believe that the stock market is catastrophically, the economy in America is in a terrible state, whereas the reality is that the stock market is a record high. Now, I think we can recognize that it is disturbing that so many voters are deeply catastrophically misinformed. But that's not the sole reason, perhaps not even the only, or even the major reason that they voted that way. And we also need to remember that thinking like this is not innately.
People, is it there? Because myself, I definitely did believe that misinformation played a huge role in people believing some of these crazy conspiracies, what people actually do believe are true or whatever. Yeah, so. But when the stats don't show what you're saying to be likely to be true, what do we have to do? Huh? Let me show you how we do it. Yeah? Yeah? So, if he's gonna show stats that show something different, yeah, and it's proven to be factual, what do we have to do? Accept the facts and move on. You hear me, you donuts? Shut up, man.
Necessarily connected with conservative thinking in the US, even if it happens to be like that at the moment. So in recent years, psychologists have developed an ever more detailed picture of what they call the conspiratorial mind. They found correlations between conspiracy thinking and personality traits such as paranoia, narcissism, suspiciousness, and cynicism, as well as feelings of alienation.
Pause. Yo, a list of things. Hey, sorry, man. There's some dude just laying on the floor doing some dramatic shit right next to my window. Super threw me off what I was actually. So, yeah, man. So, you know, this conspiracy stuff really. Diagnosed with what he's saying, that a lot of you conspiracy theorists, not for you, man, a narcissist. You feel alienated, singled out. Yeah, you won't accept any facts that go against what you're saying. I think that's a #1 trait of a conspiracy theorist. If you lay something on the table, yeah, that shows what you believe is something different, yeah, you will go down kicking and screaming. Even if you admit that the evidence is wrong, yeah, you will still say, yeah, okay, the evidence is wrong, yeah, but I still believe my man's telling the truth. It's that, huh? I don't know how that can even work, but
uncertainty, powerlessness, anxiety, and loss of control. And they've also studied how conspiracy theories speak to a need for closure, a need to feel superior, a need to feel safe, and a need for community. And other psychologists have investigated the flawed habits of thinking involved in conspiracy thinking, such as confirmation bias. That's the idea that you favor evidence that fits your pre-existing position, or the conjunction fallacy.
Pause. Literally, what did I just say? What did I just bloody say? Yo, the man them will get shown evidence, yeah, that goes against what they're saying, yeah. Even if man accept the evidence is true, yeah, they'll still say, yeah, okay, the evidence might be true, but I still believe what my man said is the truth, or whatever. Or I still believe whatever happened actually happened. You get me? Idiot, bro. Especially spazzes like Nico, we can't even spell.
Faulty estimation of probability. And some have even suggested that conspiracy theorizing is hardwired into our brains, that it's part of an evolutionary adaptation. The idea that if it's better to connect the dots and spot a tiger, even if there isn't one there, than to fail to spot an actual tiger and get eaten. Now, the focus of much of this research from psychology and political science in the title of a recent popular book is Why People Believe Weird Things. But I think that is the wrong question to ask. First, believing in conspiracy theories is widespread and actually quite normal. Surveys have repeatedly showed that at least half the people in the US, and indeed in the UK and many other countries, believe in at least one conspiracy theory. And the researchers have suggested that if you keep on adding conspiracy theories into the list on the survey, ultimately we'll end up with kind of 80, 90, 100% of people believing in at least one conspiracy theory. Now, I'm skeptical about the value of these surveys, not least because they're often presented in alarmist fashion, and they fail to capture the complexity of what it means to believe in something or not believe in something. But they do point to something significant, and that's that all of us share, to a greater or lesser extent, the habits of thought that underpin conspiracy theorizing. Favoring interpretations that fit cherry-picked facts is something that we all do. And so it becomes virtually impossible to clearly demarcate misinformation or conspiracy theories as categories that can be easily identified, measured, and corrected. Second, much of this research takes a universalizing approach in its search for the common psychological drivers and demographic factors of conspiracism. But conspiracy theories can operate in unexpected ways in different cultures and in different historical moments. What a conspiracy theory means in Tajikistan is very different to what it means in Texas. And focusing on individual personality differences means that I think we fail to consider some of the broader patterns. For example, it turns out that the more unequal, corrupt, and polarized the society, the higher the level of belief in conspiracy theories.
Yo, and that's exactly what I don't like of Nigel Farage got the playbook from Donald Trump. I don't like that plays on that the inequalities that he benefits from, but laying off messages that may become near to mainstream. So man might hear something that's coming towards the mainstream, like the eating cats and dogs thing. Man will say that on a live TV thing. Yeah. Everyone that started off with that conspiracy theory as something that's true, that's their confirmation bias, the validation now. Donald Trump said it, so it must be true. Yeah. He's on our team. You hear me? Like there's no benefits to Donald Trump from getting your vote and becoming the president of the United States. Yeah, it's bad anyway, but God, man. Yeah, they play.
Third, the problem, I think, with the focus on the psychology of individuals is that it's irrelevant. So instead of wondering why people believe in weird things, we need to focus more about the effect of those beliefs. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if Trump genuinely, sincerely believes some of the things he says. The point is that those conspiracy theories are useful to his political project of firing up his supporters. So in short, conspiracy theories are increasingly being weaponized to advance projects of nationalism and populism in many countries around the world today. But it's not just a top-down phenomenon. Conspiracy theories are a participatory and circular process. And the way it works is like this. On fringe parts of the internet, that's often where conspiracy theories first.
Wait, hold on. Did you just type that people are eating cats and dogs in London? Nah, really, yeah. I don't think a lot of people are getting the point that he's making. He's trying to make a point of that. What each and every single one of us needs to do is be able to use our critical thinking skills anytime we hear any of this stuff in it, yeah. Because it's easy for any of us to get tricked, yeah. Anything that sounds like it's surrounding a situation which has some sort of truth or something similar to something that could be happening. Yeah, me. So that's what I'm trying to say. So, right. The people that are taking advantage of you within a conspiracy theory, they're playing on the stuff in the conspiracy that is going to make the stuff in the conspiracy that seems like it's going to hit home to you. Yeah?
Bubble up, often in kind of ironic, parodic, quite joking ways. They then get taken up by conspiracy influencers, these political influencers online. The conspiracy theories then get noticed by politicians and kind of partisan media outlets higher up the feed chain. And in turn, then major politicians like Trump are watching Fox News or it comes across his feed on X, he then posts about it or puts it in a comment in speech, and then the people at the bottom of the circle take that as confirmation of the very thing that they were saying, on the logic of there's no smoke without fire, and round we go.
Wow. Same sort of move Andrew Tate and them man they use. You get me? Aye. Hey, yeah. You know what? Yeah. The start. This video is actually on the Gresham University YouTube channel. It's like the full lecture. The full lecture starts from point one and then takes questions and answers at the end, innit? Yeah. But within the full lecture, yeah, it's like he's making a point of, see that the original thing started with the brainwash thing, yeah? So there was rumors that China and Russia and them lots was being able to brainwash people. And they didn't know whether it was true or not. America started trying to do this brainwash thing. They're saying that none of this shit actually works or none of this happens, innit? And then that's the start of the conspiracy theory, sort of, the birth of the conspiracy theory even being a word or whatever. So, it's a good watch still, man, but God. Get the ketchups! Oh snap, I reminded it.
Ways. They then get taken up by conspiracy influencers, these political influencers online. The conspiracy theories then get noticed by politicians and kind of partisan media outlets higher up the feed chain. And in turn, then major politicians like Trump are watching Fox News or it comes across his feed on X. He then posts about it or puts it in a comment in speech. And then the people at the bottom of the circle take that as confirmation of the very thing that they were saying, on the logic of there's no smoke without fire, and round we go. Myth number 4. Let's start to speed up now. Conspiracy theories are the result of a lack of accurate information. So if we can just get the correct facts out there, people will change their minds. So the assumption here is that no one in their right mind would believe in such bizarre things unless there was a lack of correct information out there, or that they were victims of a concerted campaign of manipulation. And of course, this is based on the idea that people are fundamentally rational, and they'll adjust their beliefs when new evidence comes to light. And the implication is that
I've done that experiment. That's not true. If you present someone that believes something with the evidence that it's not true, yeah, unless you present it to them in a friendly manner, if you present it to them where they're feeling pain or feeling ridiculed, they won't accept the evidence. Yeah, we've carried out this experiment on G-Block millions of times. Yeah, and then, like I'm saying, even if you did present the evidence in a style that's not gonna make these man start flipping, throwing their toys out the pram and calling you racist names or whatever, yeah, the man still ain't gonna accept the evidence, cause like, so, yo, Yeah. Presenting the facts matter to some people, not to everyone.
If only we can transmit the correct information, then the mistaken belief will disappear. Now, of course, I'm very much in sympathy with this idea. This is what I do for a living. I am a professor of true information. But I think the reality, in many cases, is that misinformation on its own doesn't turn people into conspiracy theorists. So although the usual picture of a conspiracy theorist is a loner, the actual process of developing conspiracy interpretations is communal. It gives people a sense of purpose, identity, and belonging in these online spaces. So conspiracy theories need to be understood as a collective.
That's a fucking no. That is so much of a fact here. That is mad. How you can see it on here. You know what I'm saying? Some of these men, yeah, they need people to pat their back and all that. Cause like that's why, like, like some people say, like they own this free speech thing. They don't care about people with opposing views or whatever. But they don't platform that. Yeah. That's not how it platforms or how it lays out, innit? Yeah, they really have an echo chamber. You get me? Ah, man. Oh, man. Oh, shit.
Form of sense making. They are narratives that help bolster a sense of collective identity rather than individual pieces of misinformation that alter individual beliefs. So often the focus is on why people who believe such theories have such low levels of trust. It's on their inner psychology. Instead, I think we should be asking why so
Nah, hey, listen. You know what it is, yeah? I don't know. I don't think, like, what it is here is that a lot of you people are actually too thick here to see what goes on in it. Yeah? It's like I said, I can let you man just jump on the panel and just repeat the same spazzy stuff for 12 hours a day. Yeah. Or, or not. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, yeah, it's okay, we could do that. Who's doing that? Like, bro, this is what happened last time, cuz. Like, once it got to whatever time, I told you, stuff, yo, fam, listen, see when man's doing the channel thing, yeah? While man wants to do the show, take advantage of the show that man wants to do in it, yeah? Because when I don't want to do the show, okay, it's going to be different, isn't it? Don't cry now, cuz. You should have took advantage of it when you had the time to. Let it play.
many institutions seem untrustworthy to so many people today who feel marginalized and ignored. And even if the literal claims of these conspiracy theories are mistaken or exaggerated, often the underlying sense of resentment is rooted in reality. Conspiracy theories can function as a public performance of an aggrieved sense of victimhood, stoking a sense of moral outrage, often coupled with creating scapegoats or blaming particular groups for a current situation. And this can happen right across the political spectrum. But I think it's also clear that many conspiracy theories resonate today with genuine problems in society. Now, that's not to say that conspiracy theories are correct. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm trying to suggest is they can't simply be dismissed as kind of bizarre products of an abnormal psychology. We can't dismiss them, the people who believe them, as merely gullible or somehow brainwashed. We need to understand that instead there's a mixture of motivated reasoning and tribal loyalties at work. When we look at surveys, most people agree that misinformation and conspiracy theories are a catastrophic problem for democracy today. But that same research also shows that most people think that misinformation is a problem for other people.
You. Yeah, sorry, man. I was trying to pause a little while ago still, man. Hey, yeah. I saw it come, man. That was it. Oh, man. So, bro, like you said, man. Oh, I've said this before, right? With the disgruntled people in politics and all them, like the other groups that are going off to side underground groups or whatever. The local governments, the people that's trying to grab their votes or want them to vote for them or whatever, they should actually meet with these people and speak to them in it, like, so they can quash any of the conspiracy theories that man are going to try to bring up or let you as what you're trying to do. And then give someone or give people feeling like they've got people they can get in touch with to get these sort of answers, right? Because that's what's pushing anything, like, say, if you ban a certain sort of talk or whatever, that pushes it underground. And then, you know what happens, like, banned things, underground things have a way of being able to form cult leaders that take advantage of other people that are disgruntled with real shit, but they just need an actual answer. They might, you know what I'm saying? Like, right, you might have been able to get an answer to your first original issue that could have kept you on the path of staying out of the conspiracy theorist circles or whatever, but you didn't get an answer to the first thing. Something else happens and then you've related it to be a link into the first thing, to the second thing, third thing. It's like, right, as far as you're concerned, you're just making bare confirmation bias of all these different things that are happening. There's never been no government report about no great replacement theory. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there has been a government report on the grooming gangs though. So, again, I would never class anyone as a conspiracy theorist for feeling like that was an issue. You hear me? I've never really had that argument with people. My argument on that side of it was that, rather, man, them only care about certain people doing them crimes there. Yeah. Hey, Louise. Hey. The house of pain, fam. You know how it goes, cuz, man. This is the house of agony, cuz, man. Yo. People been balling for time, cuz. Yeah, how you mean? Trust me. Oh man, let it play.
It's always other people who are the gullible ones that believe this nonsense. Never me. And I think all of us need to remember that we can be susceptible to confirmation bias to some extent. We all believe what we want to believe, and we find evidence that fits our existing intuitions. And it's often hard to change people's minds because their worldview is tied up with their sense of identity. Changing their belief, in effect, is trying to change their sense of identity. That is part of what explains why conspiracy theories are so hard to root out. Now, don't get me wrong, fact-checking is necessary. It's a thankless and heroic task. But on its own, it's unlikely to be sufficient. As I'll explain in a moment, researchers have begun to move away from relying on debunking as a counter-disinformation strategy, and they've begun instead to propose new solutions, such as media literacy education, and in particular, what's called...
Yo, hey, yeah. We've noticed that too. Air quotes, yeah, I got my fingers up. Debunking. Even though it's the truth or the facts that might get laid out on the table, doesn't actually work, innit? Yeah? You could debunk anything, yeah, or whatnot. Yeah, what if the if the conspiracy belief in the person's strong enough, yeah, the debunk won't debunk nothing. Yeah, the truth will be out there. Like, they just won't accept it. Like a man says, well, like what happened with Roy Casagrande. He showed the person the report, and they just said, well, I just don't believe the report. Yeah, the report's there, but I just don't believe the report. Not I've produced the report, I've gone through the studies or whatever. I've read the report and I just don't believe it. Well, how are you fighting against that? What can you what's your reply answer to that? What do you reply back to that? Well, I've seen the evidence here that states this, that, and the other. I've not carried out my own test here. I just don't believe what the evidence says. All right, cool. Huh? Yeah, what'd you do after that? What's your answer? Ridicule don't work, yeah. It turns man into the dark corners. Yeah. Debunking, yeah, don't work, yeah. Come. Man them are allergic to facts like soap and water. Yeah. Man them are allergic to soap, water, and deodorant. The same way they're allergic to facts. You hear me? Facts on facts on facts. Yeah, man. So, check out his lecture on Gresham University. Yeah, there's like quite a lot of upcoming things on conspiracy theorists or whatever. Yeah, this is like the part one. Yeah, so I'll tell you what we try to do. Yeah, we ain't gonna have enough time for it today. Yeah, it's. Do you know what? Actually, yeah, we'll stop that here. Yeah, and let's skip to the question and answer page. Yeah, how about that? Yeah, we stop here and go to the question and answer thing, innit? Yeah, so you're not gonna get the rest of the lecture. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what that even means. If they believe big pharmaceutical, what does that even mean? You know, hey, Randy's such a weirdo. It's like, if you look on my community page, he made a point there about something. I replied back to him and he goes, okay, you was right. I was like, bro, you always read the room wrong. Always. All right. Question and answers. Let's
Well,
go.
we do have a lot.
Ah, it froze up, and hold on. Let me load it up again. One sec. One sec. One sec. Just load him up. It's that one.
We do have a lot of questions, so I'm afraid we won't be able to go through them all. But someone is asking. I mean, you've described very well that fact-checking may not work. You've described AI. Someone is asking online, what's the best way to get someone out of a belief of conspiracy theory, and how can we prevent people from falling for them in the first place?
Yeah, this is the question that I think so many of.
Yo, obviously, yeah. This question definitely applies to half of the chat in it, yeah. So, what it might do though, yeah, this is going to mess up the route to try to get you out of being a conspiracy theorist, because he's going to tell you what he's going to try to do to get you away from being a conspiracy theorist. So you're going to fight even harder against it now. You know what I'm saying? All right, so close your ears for a sec, yeah? If you're a conspiracy theorist, close your ears for a sec. Yeah? It's like, close your ears for a minute, yeah? Why he gives the answer to that question.
Us want to know, particularly if you have a loved one who's gone down the rabbit hole. Now, one of the things that I think is quite useful to distinguish is people who are in the kind of wavering middle territory. I think those people are comparatively easy to rescue. With something like the debunk bot, it turns out you can begin to change some people's beliefs like that. But people who've gone deep down the rabbit hole, it is really, really hard. Most of the things that would work for people who are in the middle ground are just not going to work. Instead, the thing that does seem to be the only thing that you can try is slow, patient, compassionate understanding, not bashing them over the head saying you are wrong, but trying to understand where some of their fears are.
Hey, yeah, this is what I'm trying to say, obviously. I've been calling man them spazzes and dickheads for like, I don't know, 2 years and shit. Cha. Don't come to me to try to get out of the conspiracy trail and all them sort of shit there. 'Cause obviously, what I'm saying ain't helping, innit? Yeah, slapping you about with facts all day, yeah, and then calling you a muppet after, yeah, is you said you gotta give man a cup of hot chocolate with marshmallows in it, a frothy hot chocolate with marshmallows in it, soft slippers. Sit man down, put a little blanket around man, and then box man with a fact. How you mean? Ready? Put your seatbelt on, and then boxing head with the facts. Oh man.
Might come from. That work is difficult, it's slow, it's individual, you can't do it at scale, and in many cases, sadly, it doesn't work, because in effect, you're dealing with the same problem of cults and deprogramming. There's no easy fix.
All right, let's take perhaps questions from the audience.
Oh, thank you very much. It seemed to me there was an inconsistency in your debunking of myth 1 and myth 6, because myth 1 you basically said conspiracy theories have been around forever, but in myth 6 you're saying, but they're causing a crisis of trust in science, media and democracy. But if they've been around forever, that means there's always been a crisis of trust in science, media and democracy, doesn't it?
The contradiction's not mine, if I think I understand your point. I'm responding to stuff I hear out there. So people make these kind of claims, and I'm thinking, they don't, to me, seem to be true. And I think you're right, but there are also reasons why our particular moment is different, and in some ways our particular moment is worse. I think it is not we can't comfort ourselves by thinking, well, you know, there's been this kind of stuff all along, therefore we don't need to worry. There are things we need to worry about, and the worry is that something that has changed significantly, for example, is that trust in government and trust in media has changed considerably. Now, what we might think historically is actually that period of the second half of the 20th century was an aberration. That period of kind of regulated mainstream media was the aberration, not the norm. And so it might be thinking in terms of the long historical span, we've been here before, but actually it's not that we're endlessly living through the same Groundhog Day moment. Each historical moment brings its own historical problems that we have to deal with. And it's recognizing the specificity of what it is we're dealing with today.
Thank you. Another question online. I think you've described well fear, antagonism, but defiance as well. And someone is asking, how do you balance skepticism for authority versus conspirational thinking?
Yeah,
is there such a thing?
I mean, this is the $64 million question. You think healthy skepticism is indeed, vital to democracy. We would positively welcome it. So where do you draw the line between kind of exaggerated, unnecessary, or irrational, paranoid forms of skepticism? And that, I think, is one of the things I'm trying to get across, that there's no easy, clear category of misinformation or conspiracy theories that we, in the rational mainstream, can kind of quarantine and put over there, and therefore kind of somehow...
Yeah, pause. That's why the finessing dons work so well, right? Like, a Tommy Robinson for a working class don who relates with Tommy Robinson. If he spits a lot of the conspiracy theories that you believe is true, you definitely believe man's on your side, right? You know what I'm saying? That. Right, if you live on a council estate in London, and you're having issues with a couple ackies on that estate or something, and man are telling you that Muslims are taking over the country. In your perception, that could be actually factually true to the way you're seeing it. As far as you're concerned, yeah, these men are fucking taking over. Look how much of them there are. Look at this. Come on, look at this that happens there. Look at that happens there. And rah, 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 rah. You know what I mean? So that's why local councillors or whatever, people should hold them more to account, innit? So they do have to have meetings with these different little groups. All these different questions can be asked, brought up or whatever. So what's true can be, like, this is true, this is false. You know what I'm saying? Like, work on facts, innit? I don't know why people don't even want to work with facts. Man, no, ever work with facts. You hear me, folks?
Either be mystified or laugh at the kind of weird people who believe those things, because in some historical moments...
Hey, wait, you saying that? Was it? Hey, wait, Nico, you saying You need to go into one of the re-education camps, yeah. Ah, oh, mate. Yeah, man, that's mad still. Funny. That's funny. It's comedy gold. Comedy gold. Imagine they got Nico in some Islamic re-education camp. With his phobe and that. Mad. Oh, man.
We're the people over there. We're the ones going against the mainstream. We're the ones saying, hold on a minute. For example, say, to try and choose a less controversial example, the Vietnam War, the truth that is being presented to me by the government, as I said, all my examples are American, is maybe not actually the reality. And, to come back to the kind of historical argument, there is that's where the rot set in, but understandably so.
Mad. Hey. Ay. Well, what we've seen in this season on the block, you definitely know, bro. Debunking doesn't work. Telling man the truth doesn't work. Telling the people to look at the evidence themselves, download it and read it and go through it and then discuss it after doesn't work. This season, How you been? As you say, Tunnels in Palestine was a conspiracy theory. It still is a conspiracy theory. Because where was it? God damn. One sec. So, mirroring man to fucking get through this shit. Damn. I was tired as hell. The van had to breathe in. I couldn't even speak at the same time. Your concentration. He mad. Where's the tunnels in Palestine? Are you mad? You alright, bro? BBC News debunked that, cuz. Are you crazy? Yeah. But anyway, yeah. That's a sidestep still. But like we're saying, yeah, conspiracy. You get me? Man don't care about facts, cuz you can tell. You could point man in the direction of what the truth is. Man ain't gonna look at it. In general, these men are dishonest. You get me? But it's only about 6 months. see on that. But you see what it is, yeah? It's that you need someone like me, yeah? It's that if you present something that's factual evidence that is against what I am saying, I will accept the evidence. There's a lot of people that's listening and typing and going bad right now, yeah, that have never done that. Like, not one time. One time. 2 times.
No, people were right to be skeptical, and so I think that's why there's no easy way of clearly and obviously saying this is a healthy form and this is an unhealthy form. It all depends on the particular context, the specific uses to which these ideas are being put, and I think that's what we need to focus on, not in some ways the belief itself or the individual psychology, but how this particular idea is being utilized, weaponized, monetized quite often.
Thank you. Let's take another question from the audience, perhaps. Then we'll take one last question online. There's a gentleman there. Safi, sorry.
To what extent do you believe that conspiracy theories are monological? That is, that belief in one conspiracy theory is predictive of belief in many others?
Yeah, so this is kind of one of the first major psychology papers on conspiracy theories, put forward the idea, it's called the monological hypothesis. If you believe if you believe in one, you believe in them all. Or rather, more accurately, the only kind of significant predictor of who believes in a conspiracy theory is nothing to do with psychology or gender, race, age. It's whether someone already believes in a conspiracy theory. And I think that is true in many cases, but it's not always true. So it's a useful predictor, but in some cases, no, people believe in just one particular set of conspiracy theories. Then again, what we've also found with the pandemic, for example, is that anti-vaccination conspiracy theories or conspiracy theories in the pandemic acted as a gateway to other conspiracy theories. I remember being asked at the time, well, when the pandemic's over, surely people...
Hey, that's the one that got Banksy, you know. The pandemic got Banksy, you know. I can't lie. Before the pandemic, yeah. Man, before the pandemic. Oh, man. But God, man, we're nearly done, yeah.
They're going to kind of move on, and they're not going to believe in conspiracy theories anymore. And to me, it just seemed implausible. And indeed, that's what happened. People just pivoted from COVID lockdown fears to climate lockdown fears. So that kind of way of thinking about the world had become to them the way they now interpreted everything. And I think it's less kind of the monological hypothesis than this idea of a sense-making framework that then becomes tied to a certain kind of community and an identity, and it's that whole package that goes together rather than a particular kind of psychology that would be framed in terms of this monological hypothesis.
Thank you. I'll take one last question from the audience, because you described almost the anthropological nature and the sociological nature, really, of conspiracy theories. Someone is asking, are people more prone to believe in conspiracy theories in free or authoritarian regimes, aside from the ability of the regime to control access to that theory?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And it's often really sobering that so much kind of moralizing and anxious discussion about conspiracy theories is about, needless to say, kind of Western societies. But when we look at the role of conspiracy theories elsewhere, we realize they are often catastrophically more significant. Authoritarian leaders in many countries cynically, shamelessly use conspiracy theories to either bolster support or to justify harmful suppression of their own populations. But at the same time, we need to remember that actually, in many of those countries, believing in a conspiracy theory, believing that your government is conspiring against you, is entirely sane. And that's the thing, that's one of my problems with a lot of the psychological research on conspiracy theories. It's kind of thinking about the West. It's thinking about people, often it's based on surveys done in universities using their own students. Instead, in other countries, you would be mad not to believe in a conspiracy theory. And I think that that's a sobering thought about why conspiracy theories can, in some contexts, be a necessary form of resistance. Sometimes we need to kind of remember that.
Well, on that note, thank you very much, Professor, for this fascinating lecture.
Yeah, so big up, man. That was that, man. Hopefully you took a little bit in from what they were saying on the conspiracy side of the game. I feel like it was definitely some good points made in there. The question and answer was decent as well still. So it's parking up. Right. Is it granny time? Yeah, man, it's granny time now, cause we out of here, cause yeah. All right, peace.
I want to teach you some UK slang today, bro. So tell them where you're from first before we get into that.
You're from Brooklyn, New York.
So when you're that guy, what do you guys say?
You be like, I'm one of them, or I'm a don, you heard? Like,
You're
I'm
a don.
Like, I'm a don, like.
See, in the UK, the way you say that is I'm a nonce.
I'm a nunce.
No. Say I'm a nonce. Like, say it to the camera with chest
like for me, I'm a nunce, you know the vibes. Like for me, top nunce, nigga, I'm on that.
Top nonce.
Yeah.
So the next one, what would you say, like, if you're really smart, like you specialize in the books?
We just be like, alright, Einstein, like, okay, Einstein, the fuck, nigga think he's smart and shit, for me.
The way we say in the UK is you say, I'm a young thing specialist, like I specialize in the books, you're a young thing specialist.
So I'm a young thing specialist, so if I'm good in like math, so like English, I'm a young thing specialist in math, right?
Young thing specialist.
Okay, young thing specialist. Nah, I got a 90 on my English feature, so in English, I'm a young thing specialist. Like,
you're definitely a young thing specialist. I want to teach you some UK slang today, bro. So